I'm ashamed of him. I'm disgusted.
I want to show you two clips here of Megyn Kelly. She drops a surprise in the second one, but here she is, Megyn, who's been an unbelievable advocate for women's sports and for true feminism, and her own life is just an example of a woman who is like loud and proud and hear me roar. Here she is going off on these new changes that the Biden administration just did with Title IX.
And I voted for Donald Trump to prevent things like this, what happened today. And when I saw the news on what Joe Biden just did to women's rights and Title IX and due process for young men on college campuses and free speech, I was horrified. And my second reaction was, at least I don't have this blood on my hands. I'm ashamed of him. I'm disgusted at you, Miguel Cardona. Shame on you. What's happened today as a result of the change in Title IX is that your daughter, or you, if you are a college-age woman, will now have to go into your college bathroom, your college locker room, and be faced with men posing as women, many of whom are only there because they get off on wearing women's clothing. They literally will have erections because they're wearing a dress into the women's locker room. Your kid's going to have to look at it, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
But how do you really feel, Megyn? Anyway, I just adore her, and it's direct, and it's true, and it's clean, and when she's pissed, it is obvious. That is not her default setting. Like, she is one of the most lovely people that I've met in all the years of doing any of this. But now I want to connect that to, while you might look at the Bill Maher guy and go, okay, you're not going to vote the right way. Well, here's Megyn Kelly talking about who she's endorsing in 24.
I had a long, contentious relationship with Donald Trump. You may be aware. And going into 2020, I didn't know whether I could pull the lever for him. I really didn't. The world had shifted under our feet. It had gone crazy with DEI and with the trans ideology nonsense, which was being shoved down my own kids' throats at school. And I really wrestled with it. You guys heard me wrestle with it on this program. I went in and I told her after the election who I voted for in 2020. And I've never shared this publicly. I don't talk about who I'd vote for as a journalist. I never have. But I'm going to today. And I told her I voted for Donald Trump. And I almost cried because this woman and I had been through a lot. I'd had a breast cancer scare. Thank God it wasn't anything. She got me through. And she knew what Trump had put me through for that year and how hard it was on my family and so on. I don't want to get back into it. And she said, why? And I told her that it wasn't about me. It was about my concern for this country and my children and what was happening, in particular in this culture lane, but in other lanes as well.
All right, so Megyn went on to say that she is endorsing Donald Trump in 2024. So not only as a journalist, but she doesn't share that stuff. And Donald Trump has gone after her personally, right? We all remember that from the election before, from the 2016 election. But there she is saying, it's not about me. There are bigger issues here. So she voted for Donald Trump in 2020, and she is going to vote for him in 24.